What is going on, YouTube-averse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another Viva La Vinyl classic album review. And I couldn't be any more excited today than to be talking to you about the 1998 classic by Pearl Jam, Yield. Look at this album cover, so cool. A photo taken by the bassist Jeff Ament in his home state of Montana. It's a widescreen shot, just look at that. So cool. And when you open this up, now the Yield sign is in the ocean. Just so awesome, and a ton of great photos taken by Ament in the artwork. I believe this was nominated for a Grammy for that. I could go on and on just about the artwork, but man, let's move on to the symbolism behind Yield, which I think meant many things for the band at the time. First of which was that Vedder, especially on the last two albums prior to this is their fifth studio album, by the way, on No Code and Vitalogy, Pearl Jam had almost turned into a bit of a dictatorship, with Vedder writing most of the lyrics and music at that point. And Vedder wisely kind of stood back on Yield and said, let's go back to the early days where you guys wrote a lot of the music, and then the songs were almost fully finished, and then I come in and write some lyrics. But he did it even more so on this than he did back on 10, where he wrote all the lyrics. Stone Gossard and Jeff Ament have lyric writing credits on several songs. Gossard writing No Way and All Those Yesterdays. Jeff Ament writing Low Light and Pilot. All great songs. Really, there's not a weak song on this record, and that really shows that the band was just really finding this new democratic feel. Even Mike McCready writing a lot of songs musically, of course, Given to Fly being the biggest one. Obviously, he's ripped off Led Zeppelin a little bit on the riff. It sounds a lot like Going to California, but it's such a big anthem rocker that it doesn't matter. It's one of their most loved songs, and for good reason. There's a lot of good anthem rockers on here, like In Hiding is another great one. Man, so many good rockers, like the opening Brain of J is so cool. And I love that it has this false start with somebody saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can just tell the band is having fun. And that's another thing that I think Yield the sign symbolizes. It's like Pearl Jam at this point in their career were already kind of like elder statesmen of rock, I mean, sadly, Nirvana had been gone for several years. Soundgarden had already disbanded, and they were left kind of alone as being like the big rockers from the early 90s that were still around. Not that much time had passed, but 5 albums in already. And, to be elder statesmen, you would think that the music would get more serious. And Pearl Jam was known for, even right out of the gate, with so many serious, sad songs like Black and Jeremy, which are awesome. But with so many serious themes, Yield is the first album where it sounds like Pearl Jam is just having fun. They're having a good time, just letting loose. Like Brain of J is just such a fun opener. No Way is another prime example lyrically where he's saying, I'm not trying to make a difference. It's like literally them saying, we're not taking ourselves too seriously anymore. We're just going to go out there and do what we do and do it great. Another Faithful, another awesome song. And that's another way that the band had kind of turned a corner, where so many of these songs are uplifting. They're positive, not just in the sound, but also in the lyrics, like on Faithful saying, we all believe it. It's, Wish List is such a contemplative, reflective song that, again, is positive. It's Vedder kind of just reflecting on, I love the line where he says, I wish I was as fortunate as me. It's him realizing how, grateful he is at this stage in his life. And it's sad that there's so many people that do become famous and rich, and then they kind of lose reality in a way, and it's obvious that can happen to anyone. But Pearl Jam did such a good job of staying grounded through the years. They continue to just be as big as they are. They're still playing stadiums, they're still just these regular dudes that, are against Ticketmaster, and they fight all these different things, and they're like just everyday dudes, and I love it. So man, I just got on a tangent, but Do the Evolution, another really cool rocker, and one that has some really heavy hitting lyrics on, just man trying to take over. I love, there's a line that even kind of talks about the white man thinking they're better than the Indians. They got nothing on me. And it's just like from this first person point of view of this terrible person that is just in excess and wiping out generations before, and really kind of tongue-in-cheek, another fun song, the way they do it, but also Vedder's vocal performance is just like he's playing this character kind of like he did on Lucan on No Code, but much better, like a story where you can actually understand what he's saying, for one, and then also really having a strong message of like, man, look what we do to each other. We're terrible human beings. But then bringing back the warm, nice sentiment on a song like Low Light, another song that's talking about how, it's your place in life is just beautiful. Jeff Amen's lyrics are really shine on this one, and Vedder's performance again. Vedder kind of playing these different personas on the record, more so than he had done in the past, I feel. It felt like the band just in general was just really felt comfortable in their own skin finally at this point, and it just all coalesced into this really one of their best records. I think All Those Yesterdays is a great closer, and then there's even a hidden track called Hummus, which is just further illustrates the fun they're having. It's just this free jam and them yelling hummus. And it's just so awesome. I love it. I think even if it wasn't hidden, even if it was a track on here like Red Dot, Jack Irons even got a song where he was able to lend his writing credits, just doing these weird drum fills, all these different drum solos, and it's just really fun. Jack Irons, by the way, I think was one of the best drummers in Pearl Jam, and they've had quite a few. I believe they've been through 5 drummers. They're now with Matt Cameron, who took over right after this record when Jack Irons left during the Yield tour. But I think Irons was a big part of the fun on this record. I just love it. I think it's definitely one of their best. Second best in my opinion, and if I had to give this a grade, I would give it an 8.5 out of 10, which means it is absolutely a classic and you must own it. So guys, that is my review. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think of Yield. What is your favorite Pearl Jam album, by the way? Mine is 10. And if you like this review, be sure to click in the bottom right hand corner in a second my review of 10 that I did recently. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, Viva La Vinyl. So please click like and subscribe by clicking the Johnny Radio icon to the right. There's also some other content for your viewing pleasure. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.